Hey, I'm Adarael. I'm playing Jason Carter, gunslinger who aims to bring justice to the Mojave Wasteland.
Hello, I am Dr. Carl Hoffman. I'll be playing the Brotherhood of Steel initiate, trying to give medicine to these, well, unfortunates.
Hi, I am Legacy, and I'll be playing Chanel, the survivor who is really good with cars and really good with explosives.
Hi there, I'm Termite. I'm gonna be playing Iris Winchester. She's gonna be our roguish type, kind of keeping her distance and solving problems that need solving.
And I'm Solomon, and I will be the overseer for this evening. The Mojave Wasteland has come a long way in the past decade since the adventures of the Courier and the grand battle at Hoover Dam that saw the NCR and the Brotherhood of Steel push back west at the behest of Mr. House and the Courier who worked for him, and the Legion of Kaisar broken and scattered back east, with their leader having been assassinated by the Courier on his trip across the river. In the 10 years, the Mojave has flourished in some ways and gotten far worse in others. The Great Khans and some of the followers of the Apocalypse have moved north, leaving most of the drug trade to Freeside. The robots of Mr. House and of Robco Industries as it is have managed to bring a little more civilization out further beyond the strip, with the original train tracks being laid by the NCR having been repurposed into a monorail line that extended out from Camp McCarran even out as far as Prim. Boulder City has largely been rebuilt. Jacobstown has had contact established with them, so now there is more trade, there is more civilization and discussion between the super mutants and Nightkin that reside there and the people of the strip of Freeside and Westside. However, there are still, of course, the issue of the irradiated wildlife of ghouls and the occasional roving gang member from the Jackals or the Scorpions, or even the occasional remnant of Caesar's Legion. And now, it seems, there have been rumors of odd mechanicals, of robots, of settlements on the outskirts going dark. But that's not your concern as of yet. At the moment, you all find yourselves at the 188 Trading Post, what began as a small trading post that was more just as a quick pit stop from those traveling from Prim or Nipton or the Mojave outpost of the NCR further along to the strip, has now become a full caravan stop. There are caravans of just those walking with Brahmins and their various halls. There are the occasional small group of NCR soldiers coming from California or Shady Sands up to the strip, because it is still one of the better places to go, one of the safer places to go to gamble when New Reno is still being quite dangerous, even for people within the NCR. And the 188 Trading Post is still one of the best places for the southernmost settlements to manage to make their trade. As such, we are going to start with one of the people from those settlements. Chanel, you have driven the truck that you and the others at Lilybell have refurbished to bring along large shipments of food and purified water and the occasional bits and bobs of parts for other vehicles that you can't utilize because you don't have the frames, but someone in New Vegas probably does. you have brought along these shipments in the hopes of getting some really good trade for them, seeing as you are one of the better people to send for further trips, as Silas had to go elsewhere for shorter trips on foot, whereas you are the better pilot in Lebel. So, what exactly are you and Maisie doing?
Maisie and I are we're kind of just hanging out in the truck right now. Sitting down, getting I'm trying to get Maisie to calm down. She don't really like the truck rides. We tend to do a little bit better on foot, but getting her trained, getting her used to it. Maisie is a little pit bull puppy that anybody who knows Chanel automatically knows who Maisie is, because that is her, quite literally her best friend. She's taking her time, kind of watching the people go back and forth between the truck and the train posts, and keeping her eye out for anybody interested. There ain't many people that are interested nowadays, so.
It's true. Since you've made a few trips to the 188 trading post before, you're used to the people that are around here. You're used to seeing the Kerrs, Michelle Kerr and Samuel Kerr, who are the main traders here, who run the pit stop for people who need to eat. There is Alexander, who runs the local gun runners kiosk. And there is the one person that took your attention before was a young man in his early 20s that goes by Clay, or occasionally people call him Forecaster, who seemed to have some sort of chem-induced ability to do forecasts of the future. Generally just a way for him to get a little bit of money, saying if people are going to have good luck in Vegas or not.
Right. She's gonna roll down her window. It's like one of those old like, it's not automatic windows. It's like you take the knob and you gotta like turn it to roll down the window, and it creaks and it cracks, and you think that the glass is gonna pop off. But
then it gets stuck about halfway down.
Yep. So she's like pushing it down. She's like, God dang it! Come on!
Give me a strength and repair roll, please.
Yes, let's hope I don't break my truck first thing. Strength and repair?
Yes, please. And
All right.
As a reminder, you can spend a luck point to your luck in place of whatever attribute I ask for.
It'll be fine. Maybe. And I roll 2d20, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Unless you want to give me an action point to get a third die.
Well, we don't have any action points, so...
It's true, but you can give me an action point for my own personal use.
Yeah.
To get an extra die.
Yeah. No. Oh, 19 and a 16. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, the glasses now seem better days. It's just kind of stuck in the middle now, and just like, God damn it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fix that a little bit when you get home, or if you get the parts here.
Well, as long as it don't start picking up dust and shit, I should be fine. And what's the gentleman's who's the fortune teller name again?
His name is Clay. He also goes by the Forecaster.
She's gonna pop her head out of the window. A forecaster.
And he just like turns around. It's like, yeah. And you see that he actually does have what he calls his medicine on. It is a what looks to be a weird sort of gadget that like encircles the top of his head. That just has all kinds of like bits and bobs and like wires sticking out of it.
Got any good fortune for me today?
Maybe. Got a, caps. They tend to help with the, forecasting.
How about this? You owe me for last time. This time I won't kick your ass.
But you've all right. Fine. I don't want to. Fine.
I'll
And
send
he
the dog.
will-
I'll send the dog for you. You can give her a pet. How about that?
I'll take that. And he settles down at the little picnic table at the Kerr's little pit stop, and you see that he focuses for a second, and his eyes begin to roll back into his head, and then his brow furrows as they roll back forward. Huh. I hear metallic stomping. Like you're gonna get involved with some robot type folk. I don't know if that's good luck or bad. I guess that's just something you'll have to make do with what you got there. Also, I can tell you that you ain't gonna find whatever you're looking for here, but I know that you're looking for a certain part. If you get involved with them robot types, you might just find it. He knows that for a while you've been looking to try to find the last battery for your motorcycle, and he seems to think that whatever is coming that has to deal with robots, you might be able to get that fission battery for your actual motorcycle and finally get it put fully together.
Well, shit. Alright. I like the mods. You know, them robot people, still getting used to them, but I'll do what I can, and hopefully things will work out. And then she's gonna open up the door, hop off the truck, and she's gonna let off a little, "Come on, girl."
And Maisie will hop out after you and just begin to trot along beside you. And you also do see that there is an individual in a very nice outfit, like a full-on, like, sort of suit and hat, over talking to the Alexander, the individual who runs the Gunrunner's kiosk. And Carter, please feel free to describe yourself a little bit for us.
Yeah, wearing a white linen suit, formal hat, black tie, white shirt. Currently engaged with Alexander. Listen, all I'm saying is you got to have the pour and polish on it, or else it's going to jam. I spent a lot of time and a lot of money making sure it's customized. So when you do the refurb on it, make sure that you keep that and you don't mill it down too low. All right?
I mean, yeah, I can already see that you actually give a shit about your weapons, which is more than I can say for some people around here. And he just gives like a look of general sort of disgust to like all the people around. And as you look around, you see that there are a few people with decent pieces, but for the most part, it's like traveling pipe gun type stuff. It's nothing good, nothing really fancy. The best you see is an individual who has a really nicely made 9mm hanging at their hip.
I don't want to
I
make fun of these people for what they got, because it's all they got. And for them, just like for me, it's life and death. What you carry is what you carry with you into every kind of danger. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. Better to have something than nothing, though.
It's true enough. Could you please give me a roll of charisma and guns?
What kind of guns?
Small guns.
All right, critical success on both.
All right. That gives you 3 action points going into the pool. As you, the way you've talked, you seem to have left an impression on Alexander. He's like, yeah, I get you. Sure. Yeah, I'll make sure this is nice and clean for you. If you want, you can go ahead and talk. and get some extra ammo or something else for the road from the robot. And you see that in the kiosk there is a Protectron that is like standing in there ready to act as a vendor, but there doesn't seem to be a door inside, which makes you think that it could be that this kiosk was built around the Protectron.
Like it's not mobile, he just sort of put the shop up around it.
Exactly. And he's like, don't worry, I'll talk to the robot, give it the passphrase to give you some decent ammo or mods or whatever you want on the cheap.
Well, thanks. That's real swell, Alexander. Much obliged.
Anytime. You just make sure you say put in the good word about the gun runners when you go wandering around, right?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt. Wouldn't come to anybody else while I'm here.
Alrighty. Chanel, you see that entire little interaction with this individual, and you do notice one thing. You notice that this individual, despite being well-dressed, also has a Pip-Boy on his arm. It's been a while since you've seen another Vault Dweller.
Huh. Well, butter me up and call me a gecko skate. Alright. Finally, somebody fucking interested in this batshit crazy town. And, Chanel is gonna dust off her overalls and, wipe her hands clean of grease and probably, like wood shavings from, like, the boxes. And she's gonna go and formally introduce herself.
Alrighty.
Ma'am, Jason Carter at your service.
Chanel, it's nice to meet a new face. And she's gonna, hold out her hand, and it's still greased up because rubbing out overalls does not perfectly clean anything.
He doesn't seem to mind a bit. He takes it, firm grasp. What
Very
brings you to the trading post, ma'am?
I'm here on inventory control. That there, and she points to the truck, that there brings all of your supplies over for you to buy and, makes me a little bit of, extra caps. I should ask the same for you. What's a nice dressing fella like yourself doing out in this, crap shit?
I came up from the south, about a day or two ago, just sort of making the rounds, looking to see if anybody needs a hand with cleaning anything up. I was engaged as a caravan guard for some time, but that's dried up for now, so looking to put my food in my belly and figure out where I move next.
Well, you got any sort of repairing skills, building skills, or shooting skills, you'll have a very easy time finding work around these parts, my good sir.
Well, not so much on the repairing, but I can definitely drill a bullseye from quite a distance away. And if you need a schematic drawn up of a 254 hydraulic press or trip hammer, I can do that for you too.
Well, those are some very fancy words, but I don't really mess around with the guns. I got extra special weapons that I use whenever I gotta protect myself, which is happening more and more often these days. So,
I think you'll find a fair number of folks like myself and yourself here. I know that there's at least one other person in here who's a good gun hand. Haven't seen her around, but she's usually here.
Interesting. Well, if you're looking for an extra set of hands at all, you let me know. Me and my girl over there, and she points to the little pit bull.
Well, aren't you a sweet little thing?
And she's gonna let out another little whistle and point to her side for Maisie to join her.
Good pupper, good pupper, good pupper.
That there's Maisie. She is probably the second most intelligent person in this whole town.
Well, it's good to meet you, Miss Highly Educated Macy. I'm going to go get a drink while Alexander works on the piece. You hear anything around about people looking to hire, think of me if they need anybody with my skills. Thank you.
Sure thing, Mr. Carter. You enjoy yourself a nice refreshing cola. And then Chanel is going to do another whistle and have Maisie follow her out so she can start unloading her portion of the truck.
Alrighty. Carter, as you head over to the Kerr's pit stop, and you sit at the bar, and you see Michelle Kerr, who you've seen a couple times being a caravan guard. You've made your way here probably once or twice before. You see that she is busy doling out all kinds of food, be it old, pre-war food, or some freshly cooked, newer food, largely gecko steaks, that kind of thing. She is busy, but she stops by and says, "Oh, hey, Carter, how can I help you?"
Just a drink, Mrs. Kerr. I was kind of curious if you heard of anybody moving through here that needs a gun hand, maybe a mechanic too, by the sound of it. Someone else I just met in the street, seems a well-educated young lady.
I saw you talking to Chanel. She's a deft hand with a wrench, and from what I've heard, she's also a deft hand with a baseball grenade. So, I don't have any jobs right now, and she is like opening up a small, repurposed Sunset Sarsaparilla vending machine that sort of acts as a cooler for all the various drinks that they have. But I have been keeping an eye on some of the interesting people coming around here, and she nods her head as she puts down a bottle of purified water for you. And you see Dr. Hoffman sitting off to the side. Dr. Hoffman, would you please describe yourself?
Dr. Hoffman is what looks to be a very well-dressed gentleman. Big, bushy beard, lots of facial hair going on. And it seems to be rather on purpose, even in this heat, as he tries and keeps it mostly down and slicked so that the sand and dust and debris from the outside air doesn't get too far into his mouth as he's talking, and is currently tending to Mr. Carr as he's got a small needle and saying, "So, what you do here is you lance the boil there, just like so, and you slowly make sure you drain it. And then afterwards, what you need to do is get the cleanest bandages you have and some purified water and wrap it 3 times a day. Right? Eventually the swelling will go down. The skin will slough off. That is normal. The trick, though, is that you need to keep it, the bubble skin, as it is, there so it becomes a shield, if you will. You all? Okay.
Thanks, Doc. And he turns around and he looks like he is pulling up a small pouch and trying to dig out some caps for you. How much I owe you?
Well, something simple as this, and seeing as you're providing most of the supplies yourself, 5 caps, nothing crazy.
5 caps, damn. I wish we had your prices over in Freeside. The followers do good work over in the Mormon Fort, but they still charge a decent little bit, and he passes the caps over to you gladly.
Thank you very much. And if you might put in a good word with your wife for some water myself, I could use a drink.
Oh, of course. I'll make sure that she keeps a few good drinks for you. Don't worry.
Dankeschön.
And he just gets up and says, "Hey, honey, we got a couple of purified water bottles." And she just looks to Carter and raises an eyebrow. See what I mean?
Hey, seems like he's doesn't charge too much neither.
Yeah, right. Which is
I appreciate that sentiment. I do.
You mind going to go and taking his water bottle over to him if you're going to go talk to him?
Yeah, sure, might as well.
Thank you.
Kurt will grab the water bottles, head over, hand them off to the doctor. Doctor, good to meet you. You seem like you're a well-educated gentleman in these parts.
I try to be, at least. Do you have me at a disadvantage, sir?
Well, it's not entirely a disadvantage. I didn't catch your name. Jason Carter, at your service. Sticks out his hand.
Dr. Carl Hoffman. Good to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, Dr. Hoffman. So I heard that there is a dog that is the second most educated person in this here town, and I take it that you are probably the first.
If you're talking about little Miss Maisie, I would not argue with that. She is remarkably intelligent for a hound.
And she's quite cute as well.
Indeed.
Now, Doctor, I hope I don't put you on the spot here, but I've been in town about 2 days. I'm looking to hook up with somebody who might be going out on a trek somewhere. I hire my services out as bodyguard, protection for caravans, things of that nature. A man of your talents might be in high demand from raiders or other individuals of an unsavory character that might wish to do you harm. And if you have need of personal protection, I would be honored if you would think of me.
I will keep you in mind. Perhaps we could create a test later on.
Well, I haven't been tested in a while, but I still remember how to fill out the multiple choice.
Carter, you're getting flashbacks through the goat.
Not so paperwork, if you will. It's more hands-on.
Well, I can do that too, I assure you.
Sounds excellent.
And he'll head back to the bar and chill out for a
Have
bit.
you actually...
What's that, Doctor?
I do apologize. Before you leave, have you actually seen the good Maisie and her companion Chanel? They're
Why,
supposed
sure.
to be coming in with...
I just met him outside maybe 5 minutes ago.
Wunderbar.
Now, she should be still unloading her truck.
Excellent. All right. And he will stand up and instantly start to go over to where the truck is.
Alrighty, you head outside and you do see that Chanel is in fact unloading the truck with Maisie's help of basically sitting up on the bed of the truck and watching as Chanel is moving boxes back and forth.
You know, girl, I know I don't pay you well, but God, we gotta make rent do. Come on, pick up a box. Well, no, Chanel, I don't think I will. Well, why not? Well, because I'm too cute to do all this work. Fine. Hey, Doc.
Well, she may be too cute, but I am not too cute. I will help if you wish.
She makes me work for her companionship.
Of course. I was actually wondering if you had been able to find in your journeys a stethoscope. I know it's hard to come by, but any luck?
I know. I've been keeping my eyes peeled. Unfortunately, they're not easy to find, and I don't have the caps to negotiate right now. Next time I see one, though, you know how I can be. I'll see what I can get. Okay.
All right, but don't break the bank. I don't work for much myself, and trying to pay you a fair wage is not easy.
Doc, for you, the amount of people you help here every day, and for the pennies that you do it for, I don't mind. You do a lot more good in this town than, well, me, so...
There's the one bringing supplies to this town. And he will lift up a box. Where should I set this?
That is a box of ammo, so over there. And she'll point to the robot.
All right. He will take it off to the robot then.
Excellent. And as you are working to unload, you see that there's another person coming off from elsewhere in the wastes, having made the trek apparently on foot from wherever they were. Iris, please describe yourself.
Hi there. Iris is... she has kind of short red hair, falls to just above her shoulders, has a .308 hunting rifle slung over her shoulder, and the only other thing that really seems to stick out is she's wearing what looks to be a fairly cobbled together chest piece of leather, but it seems it's like significantly darker in color than it would normally be. Yeah, she walks on in. Probably makes her way over to the gun runners first.
And Alexander is busily working on a pistol that you recognize because you've probably seen Carter here once or twice. And he just looks up and says, "Oh, shit. How can I help you?"
I could always use more 308. But you wouldn't happen to be in the market for some unusual rounds, would you?
Well, that depends. How unusual are we talking? We talking like the kind that only a handful of guns actually utilize, or are we talking like energy weapons? We don't.
I think
generally
we're talking the kind that one gun utilizes.
Depends what you got.
She'll pull out her handful of 2mm EC rounds and set them down.
He lets off a low whistle, fully stopping what he's doing and just looking over the rounds. God damn. When's the last time I saw a Gauss rifle? Probably when with the Van Grass before they went extinct. Yeah. I could probably get this down the line, send over probably to our branch closer to Vegas. He just looks them over, like checking, like to make sure there aren't any like scratches or any aberrations in each of the rounds. I'll give you 7 caps for each of them. You gotta understand, we largely focus on slinging lead, not exactly slinging anything that could be considered similar in the lasers category if the ADTFL was still around.
And you think you can make it 8?
Give me a charisma and bartering roll, please.
Oh, good. Real good at these.
Again, as a reminder, you can spend a luck point to use your luck in place of whatever stat I ask for.
That's not worth a luck point. No.
Stan, we may be bigger around here nowadays, but I'm still kind of out here in the sticks comparatively. 7's the best I can do with what I got.
All right, done. Caps are going to be significantly more useful to me anyway, so.
Fair enough. And how many rounds did you have again?
I have 9.
All right, so go ahead and add the 54 X.
Should be 63.
63, yeah. Math is hard sometimes. 63 extra caps.
It certainly is.
If you want something for that you actually... If you want lead for whatever you actually got, feel free to just talk to the vendor. I'll knock a couple caps off the top for you since you brought me, well, something a little bit rarer.
All right. Pleasure doing business with you.
And you. And he immediately goes back to just making sure that the 10mm that is highly customized is clean and ready for action again. And I would like everyone to please go ahead and roll me perception and survival, except for Dr. Hoffman. Dr. Hoffman, I will ask for a perception and repair or perception and science roll.
Perception and repair, then. One success.
And a complication.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alereg, yours didn't actually roll.
Why did mine not?
Oh, no, it did not.
It's /R.
One success for me.
Okay. So it was Adarael who got the complication.
Adarael got the complication.
Uh-oh.
Did not roll. What the heck?
Might have to type slash
There we go.
roll.
Yep.
There we go.
Alright.
One success critical.
At least we're
Okay.
consistent. I also got one success.
So 2 successes, I guess, then.
Fair enough. So, Carter, you hear well, everyone hears this, but Carter, you hear this stuff, a loud sort of mechanical stomping that seems to be coming from a good distance off to the east. And as you turn your head, you were like going to take a drink and just spill water all over your front.
Oh, jeez.
Thankfully, it is purified water, and it was not anything that would stain your suit. Everyone else can also hear this loud mechanical stomping. The good doctor hears the stomping and instantly recognizes it as being the stomping of power armor. Specifically, a set of power armor that is the model of power armor that is normally utilized by the Brotherhood. But from what you're hearing, it sounds slow, and it sounds like it hasn't been oiled or properly maintained in a while. And everyone who looks to see where the source is coming from does see a full set of power armor that looks like it's very poorly maintained. Looks like it is bent and busted up a little bit, and dirty, rusted in places, and it looks like it's basically been weighed down with anything that could go onto it, the kitchen sink included. There's extra pouches of rations. There's like long webbings of canteens that are all sort of strapped together and clinking together as this figure in the power armor walks closer. And it's just sort of an odd sight. Everyone just stopping what they're doing and just sort of staring at this figure before the walking comes to a slow crawl, and anyone who's close by the figure can hear heavy breathing and can just hear like, gotta go. And you just see the power armor just stop and just seem to slump a little bit, like it is fully in standby mode. Like it's waiting for someone to enter it, but it seems like there's a figure that's already inside.
Yeah, Carter's going to run over there and see if he can't help pry this guy out, because it looks like his power cell died.
Shoot, I saw.
Oh dear. All right.
All right, Carter, you probably haven't had a lot of run-ins with anyone in full sets of power armor like this, but you know enough just from basically seeing like the old videos and movies that you saw. Sometimes there'd be people in power armor using it as like their final, like their big bad weapon in the movie. So you know, like the way you get in it is like you turn a valve at the back and it opens up. So you turn that valve and out just basically falls an older looking gentleman. Looks like he is in maybe his 60s or even possibly his 70s. Wisps of messy, sweat patted down white hair just clinging to his scalp. He looks like he is far too old to be out in a set of power armor like this.
Hey, Doc, you got to get over here.
Dr. Hoffman's already on his way.
Dr. Hoffman, you come over and you see this individual, and you see an older individual garbed in the robes of a scribe from the Brotherhood of Steel. Not a knight or a paladin, just a scribe using this armor. You also look inside and you see that the armor is very specifically like coded to only work for this particular scribe. So you can automatically get it off your mind that anyone might possibly try to steal it, thankfully.
Pull 'em out. Let's get on the ground. Chanel, can you grab the 2 purified waters from the bar?
Sure thing, Doc. And she'll
Try and pull him up a bit.
Iris, you see that individual, and you see that he is wearing the symbol of the Brotherhood of Steel. What are you doing?
Just gonna keep a watch from a distance.
Alrighty. Dr. Hoffman, if you could, please give me a roll of intelligence and medicine.
All right, Doc. I do have some of the spare medical supplies in the truck. Should you need them, whatever I can do.
1 success.
1 success. The main thing you can tell about this individual is that he is actually, truly far too old to be out and about doing this sort of thing. His eyes are cloudy with cataracts, even as he's like looking around, sort of like half awake, half conscious. His hands tremble slightly due to the age, and you can see that he does have a rather beaten-looking laser pistol hanging at his side, but you doubt that he could have ever even hit like the broadside of a barn with it. He is in no shape to be traipsing around the wasteland, and yet it looks like he's basically been pushing himself to travel from the east.
Does he have holotags on him?
Yes, you do see that he has holotags on him. The tags read that he is, his name is Galen Portno, and that he is a scribe of the Order of Quill.
Alright.
Quick Geiger counter reading. The power armor in this guy, are they irradiated or is it just fatigue?
It looks like it's just fatigue. Your Geiger counter's not going off. You are, however, your radio is picking up a signal from this, and it seems like it's encrypted. So either you or someone else would have to take a second to try to figure out the right way to basically fiddle with it to get the actual message.
That is happening.
Okay.
Alright, and I will apply first aid then.
All right. It seems for the most part that he's just exhausted, so he doesn't seem like he's really wounded so much as just he needs to not be on his feet and to be taking a moment to actually drink some water and just take a second to recover. So I assume that the good doctor and Chanel get him up off his feet onto a table to just rest for a few moments.
Yeah.
After a few moments, you all see that he sort of comes to again. He's like, where am I?
You are at the Route 188 trading post, Scribe Portnoy.
So I'm about halfway there. Okay.
Halfway to where?
He looks at you all for a moment and just sighs like, I got a message, an SOS from one of our vertebrates. I think I am the only member of the Brotherhood in the region who could go and help them. I was at listening post Echo, hoping to keep an eye on things for the Brotherhood, and I was speaking to them as they were going to go see why a settlement on the road to the Divide had gone dark. I heard something, and then lost contact, only to receive an SOS later. And Carter, as you are finishing up working with your Pip-Boy, you do hear basically an SOS about a knight who is trapped with the downed vertibird with wounded, who and broadcasting their coordinates. It is a good way to the west on the Lonesome Road to the Divide. That not into the Divide fully, but on the way there. And it would take a long while on foot, but thankfully there are some people here who have vehicles that could get you there quicker, if you were to head that way.
Well, sounds a bit like a rescue mission is in order, because, pardon me for saying so, Scribe, I don't think you're in much condition to go anywhere but right there on the ground.
Yes, I am afraid my days of fieldwork are behind me. Doctor, you know of the listening posts around here. Your chapter kept general ideas of like where their various assets were.
Yep.
Listening Post Echo hasn't been an active place since before the Brotherhood got pushed out to the west. But you also can tell that this individual is not lying. He got left here when the Brotherhood pulled out.
Ep1, you stay here. If possible, can we use your armor?
I'm afraid tinkering with it wasn't exactly my strong suit. I had a sweetheart who coded it for me a while back, but she's passed on a while back. I don't really know how to code it elsewise.
I should know.
Yeah, Doc.
You want to get your hands on some power armor?
Oh boy. It's almost like it's my birthday. Okay.
The doctor's going to lean down and say, I am Initiate Hoffman. I will take up your journey.
Oh, and he just looks at you with his eyes wide a little bit. I didn't know if there were any more of the Brotherhood here.
Most left. The Mr. House from New Vegas sent them away.
And he just thinks for a second. And he looks like he has... that fire that was pushing him dies a little bit. But then you see that he gathers himself up and says, doesn't mean that the work is done.
Fine. It is not.
And he just reaches into his robes and pulls out what looks to be a holotape. This is the recording of the crash. If maybe you could find out more than I from listening to it. If one of you has a holotape player. And Carter, all Pip-Boys come with a holotape player.
Yeah, pass it over. I'll run it through here if you want.
And he hands it over to you, and you just pull up the holotape player, slot it in, and knock it down. And you hear basically coordinates and a vertibird pilot talking, just like, it seems that we have avoided the worst of the Divide's harsh windstorms. We're going to be headed over to see why Dry Gulch has gone dark. Hopefully by the time... it'll just be a quick once over and we'll be back. And you hear a large it's an electrical kind of boom, and you hear a klaxon going off in the background, and then the audio just like cuts off into static that just like kind of assaults your eardrums. It's very intense as it goes right across your ear, and then you hear a few moments later, "Mayday, mayday, we're going down. Something has..." It keeps going just static in and out until you just hear the impact. And I would like anyone who would want to give me an intelligence and science test to maybe get a bit of information as to what that boom was. And anyone else who wants to can give me an intelligence and survival test to maybe get a little bit more information about Dry Gulch.
Alas, my science and intelligence is insufficient for the task at hand.
Fair enough.
Same.
Not going to stop him from speculating, though. Maybe an EMP or something like that. Didn't sound too much like a blast, but could have been something electromagnetic knocked out the vertebrate systems, maybe?
I got 2 successes.
Good doctor. You know that sounds pretty much exactly right. EMPs are not easy to create. The more common one that happens is caused by nuclear explosion, whether it be from a large end nuke or even mini nukes shot by Fat Mans can create smaller localized EMPs. But given the fact you didn't hear an actual like full-on explosion caused by powder or anything like that, yeah, you're thinking that this was a specialized EMP attack that just knocked out the vertebrate systems and sent it careening to the ground.
I think, good Mr. Carter, that you may be the 3rd most intelligent person in this outpost right now.
Well, ain't that a damn shame?
Hey!
And you're still coming in third to my dog, though, so...
You are correct, that was an EMP. And it is not one made by nuclear devices, so that is at least good news. However, it also means that it is not uncommon scientific electrical wiring that we are dealing with then.
Any notion of something that might be out there that could cause this?
Someone very intelligent and well connected.
You down to risk your truck to go investigate this? Maybe get some goodwill and some stuff from the Brotherhood?
Oh, I have heard what they might carry.
You can see for yourself as he points to the suit of armor that's still standing, even while open right now.
Also, not exactly the most willing to give things up, even if we help them.
No, but I can put in a good word. Make sure that they are willing to at least part with some things. We do not forget those who help us. Also, please don't take my suit of armor. It was a gift from my beloved.
How about this? I'll cut you a deal. You let us take the suit of armor, you let me tinker around with it, see what I can do to fix it. And, in return, when I bring it back, not only will that thing spit shine, but, I'll be working as good as new.
If you can get past the coding, it's not exactly easy.
I've got a magic touch.
Very well. I will also give each of you 25 caps for putting yourselves in danger to do this for me.
I ain't about to haggle about price at this point. Sounds like your people are in a bad state, and the faster we move out, the better.
Indeed.
Hey, Alexander, might need that gun back faster rather than slower.
Say no more. And he finishes up what he was tinkering with it, and he's just like, here you go. And he just brings it right on over to you and holds it to you, grip first.
Much obliged.
Chanel, if you would like to try to tinker with the armor and get it being able to work for anyone else, I will require an intelligence and science test, and I will tell you right now the difficulty is 4, because this was a long process of making it encoded specifically to this particular scribe. So undoing that would be a chore in and of itself.
Hey, we'll
Can I
see.
provide assistance?
Your assistants will let you roll intelligence and science as well to work to try to add more successes to her test.
Okay.
If she's going to do the test, of course.
I will give it a go.
Okay. Are you going to just go with your regular 2 dice and then the extra die that the doc is rolling, or are you going to try to utilize some of the action points that you have? Right now you have 3, which means that you could spend 1 to get an extra die, or you could spend 3 to get 2 more dice.
I think I will spend 1 to get an extra die.
Okay, that will leave 2 action points in the pool for the party.
Will these all be rolled by her, or should I roll the die from myself as well?
She'll roll her 3 dice, and you can roll your 1 die.
Okay.
No dice.
Complication.
Oh, fantastic.
So you all are just working to tinker at this, and you think you're making a good bit of progress, Chanel, and then the doctor comes in and is like, I think I know what happens when you press this button, and then just gets a slight shock, and the system all just shuts off.
Dang nabbit! Doc, you can't put your hands on things like that. I almost had it.
The good doctor takes 1 point of damage from the retaliatory shock.
Oh, I appreciate you trying to help, but there's a reason that I'm the mechanic and you're the doctor.
Fair.
Yeah, you doing all right?
My arm is numb.
Dip it in an ice bath. I think that should work, right?
That'll make it more numb.
That is why I am the mechanic and you are the doctor. It's just the way that the world works, okay? I'm out of fresh ideas, though. We're gonna have to... it's gonna have to stay here. We're gonna have to work on it at some point later on.
Alright. Well, at least we can try and close it up so that the dust and sand doesn't get inside.
Alright. Sure thing. And, Chanel will go and, try to close it up and, kind of like try to pinpoint a place where it might be safe to keep it.
Given the fact that it will be difficult to move, given that it's about a ton or so just by itself, the scribe who will be staying here will have to get back into it and just move it off to the side, like somewhere under the underpass, to keep it out of the way of the thoroughfare.
Yeah, right there. Is good.
Out and stumble over to his seat and just
Here. He'll pass him another purified water. Drink. Rest.
Thank you. If you need it, you can take the water I had for the road ahead. And you see that he's got about 5 units worth of purified water just from canteens. And it looks like they're all numbered, like they all were Vault Tech canteens from various vaults. You see like 21, Vault 33, Vault 6, that kind of thing.
How did you get so many?
Most of my listening posts were initiates who came from vaults. They brought them along, and when they passed on or left, they let me keep them as mementos.
Oh, okay then. I suppose I will take Vault 21. Who wants Vault 36?
Carter lifts up a Vault Tech flask with 33 on it.
Just immediately takes a sip from his Vault 33 canteen.
God damn it.
Had to get in one.
I'll take that Vault 33 one.
No, that's Carter's.
He had one too.
He had one too.
Yeah, he did have one Vault 33 canteen.
Ah, I see.
I mean, for all I know, he probably bought it from me. I had a couple that I didn't need. Okay, Iris, what do you say? You want to join our little posse to go rescue some folks? Long gun wouldn't be unwanted, especially used by somebody as sneaky as yourself.
Yeah, I kind of figured something like that could be helpful, especially since y'all don't know what you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
Aside from EMP, which is odd.
And mildly terrifying when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but let's be honest, what isn't at least mildly terrifying?
I've never been particularly terrified of bread, pancakes, tortillas. Pretty normal.
The doctor looks down to Maisie. I'm not terrified of Maisie.
You should be.
Yeah, she can.
Just,
She's so scary and smarter than me.
To be fair, she's smarter than most people in this town. She's a
Alexander
very...
in the background going, "Hey!"
Oh, she's definitely smarter than you.
That's fair. Don't gotta go shouting it though.
I don't. That ain't gonna stop me. I take pride in my pooch. But you got 2 sets of hands and 4 sets of paws between the two of us, so
I would like a roll of intelligence and science from Iris and Dr. Hoffman, please.
Okay.
And I will give you both an extra die for free for this particular roll.
All right.
Okay.
I got one success.
One success.
You both think on the fact that this is an EMP attack, and your minds immediately go to different places. Dr. Hoffman, you may not have been personally involved in the events that led to its destruction, but the Enclave of Navarro immediately comes to your mind, given the greater technological weapons that they had at the ready. An EMP would not have been difficult for them to take care of. Iris, you know of a threat back east, intensely technologically advanced to the point where life was even easy for them to make in a lab. that would have access to this sort of thing. And the thought of them being this far west, it's not good. It's quite unnerving to you.
Yeah, that's. I have an idea of what might have done this, but I hope for all of our sakes it wasn't.
I do as well, and it also is not a good prospect.
Well, does this estimation on both of your parts include how best to kill it?
I mean, same way you kill anything else. Put enough bullets in it, it'll drop, but...
Swell!
It's a question, I guess, of how many bullets do you have?
Quite a few.
Got at least 5.
I thought you dealt in baseballs.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Alright. I'm assuming Maisie will be riding shotgun with you? Alright. Very well. I will go into the back of the truck then.
Yeah, Carter climbs into the bed, helps Iris up.
Iris is gonna go grab some more 308 rounds before we head off.
Alrighty, how many are you gonna be grabbing?
Huh? I'll just grab another 5.
Okay. They would come out to about 15 caps total for you to buy that many, but since you brought that those 2mm rounds for Alexander to work with, he only charges you 10 to get an extra 5.
Yeah, I'll pick
actually,
up.
let's make it 6.
Okay, so it'll be 12.
Now that I think about it, Carter's going to grab another 10mm rounds.
Okay, and he will actually also charge you only 10. He is charging you 1 cap per, as opposed to the usual 2 caps per for 10mm.
Sounds good.
And as you head out, I would like a roll of piloting from Chanel, please.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll be piloting plus the standard stack that goes with that particular skill.
Cool.
It's perception, apparently.
Yes, it is.
Make sure you don't hit anything bumpy.
No promises.
Runs over a rad scorpion.
That's not bumpy.
1
that's
success.
right. All right, 1 success is what you needed. You are headed off along the road, heading west towards the road to the divide. Thankfully, you're not having to go to the divide itself, because the divide itself is a terrible place to be. Thankfully, it's just on the way there to Dry Gulch. And you see that there is a long overpass that takes you most of the way to Dry Gulch. The road sweeping up into a wide bridge, spanning a deep, rocky defile sort of area. You see that along the northbound lane of this particular little area, all the various wrecks of the cars have been sort of stacked there, while the road that side of the road that you're using, thankfully, has been cleared ahead of time. There is a break in the bridge, but there looks to have been a wooden platform that sort of was constructed, not very well constructed, but it looks decent enough to drive over. However, if you would like to, or if anyone else who would like to, since the back of the truck is an open bed, they can peer ahead with a let's go ahead and make it a perception and repair test, just to look to make sure that this is decent enough. If you would be able to tell if it could definitely hold the truck and all of you on it.
Once again, my skills at repair are insufficient to the task at hand.
That is 2 successes.
Critical 2 successes, yeah.
All right. And with that, the pool of action points for the party goes back up to 4. Because Iris and the good doctor can tell that this platform could probably take the truck if Chanel drives real careful. If Chanel drives fast, y'all could get over it. Staying on it for too long, however, could definitely cause some problems unless someone wants to get out and reinforce it with any junk materials they might have.
I've got some scrap parts that I can
You think that
use.
needs some shoring up before we go over it?
It's for the best, yeah.
Tell you what, then, you start working on that because I'm not anywhere near as good with my hands as you are. I'll go across it on foot, keep an eye out, and stay out of sight. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Carter, if you're going to try to stay out of sight, I would like an agility and sneak test, please. And then Chanel, I would like a... let's go ahead and make it intelligence and repair.
That is 1 success for me.
Alrighty.
2 successes from me. And one of them, I rolled a 2 on repair, which I am, what's it called?
Is it your tag?
3 successes still.
Yeah.
All right. So the number of action points in the party pools goes up to 5 because you needed 2 successes to make sure that it would definitely be strong enough for the truck to go over. You've basically taken apart all the various bits and bobs that you've been keeping as repairs, be it to the truck or to anything that you need, and you put it to good use here, just sort of like bracketing the boards together a little bit better and making sure that they aren't going to crack, reinforcing them with some metal slats that you've had.
Mm-hmm.
And you are certain that it will not cause the platform to break. Carter, you are very certain that you are being as stealthy as you can possibly be in a bright white suit at a mostly beige background. You see that there is a little shack ahead of you that looks like it was sort of put together with parts from like the cars themselves, like parts of the undercarriage, or like the frame sort of put together and then filled in with various doors and such that just sort of make like a very small hut kind of thing. And as you look back, you can see that a lot of the cars look like they've been basically opened up and looted, like all the various trunks and the doors opened up or taken off. But there are still some cars that look like they haven't been gotten to yet.
All right, 2 questions about this shack then.
Okay.
First question is, does this shack look like it's got a firing port or anything that somebody could be attacking these vehicles with from inside?
No, it looks like it is mostly put together to just sort of be more homely. It looks like there was like a window with a glass pane that looks like it came from a windshield almost.
Okay.
But there isn't like a firing port or like a kill box sort of thing in it.
Okay, well, I guess the second thing isn't really a question so much as a statement. Carter's going to be moving towards that building, gun at the ready, but not aimed at it, just in case somebody who is non-threatening comes out.
Okay. Chanel, you do see that Carter is heading off closer to this shack, which you also are able to see from where you are working on the bridge. Carter,
right.
as you get closer, you are able to get to the door, and it looks like it is ajar. It does not look like it's closed or locked or anything, but it also doesn't look fully open.
Yeah, I got a peek inside. No way that his curiosity would let him not.
And you just slowly push the door open, and I would like another roll of agility and stealth. This one, I will tell you, has a complication range of 18 to 20.
That's another complication then, but I get a success.
So, you get that success, but you push the door open, and it seems like the hinges of this door have not been oiled in a long time, so just... And you look inside and you see a picked over skeleton with a very battered twin double barrel shotgun underneath it. And you see why the skeleton is picked over, as you see a swarm of 7 rad roaches.
Nope.
Inside, and you just like work to close the door again as they are beginning to skitter after you. So we are going to begin combat. I would like to know what everyone's initiative score is, please.
12.
15.
17.
Good doctor.
12.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start with Iris. Iris, you are in the back of the truck. You are able to stand up and basically like sort of prop your gun up on the top of the cab itself to be able to fire off if you wish to use your hunting rifle for this.
Yeah.
There are 7 red roaches. They are 2 zones away because it is one zone we'll say they're 2 zones away because it's one, like the one zone is your side of the bridge, then there's the little platform counts itself as a breakable zone, and then the zone is on the other side of the bridge. The inside of the house is also a zone in and of itself, but thankfully all of the red roaches have piled out to chase after fresh meat.
All right, so they are at long.
Yes.
I am not familiar. I didn't expect there to be combat in round 1.
Gotta get the tutorial fight out of the way.
Okay, cool. So I can move up with a minor action to get into medium. See, I'm gonna use a minor action to move, and then I'm gonna shoot at one of them.
All right. So go ahead and you hop down off of the bed of the truck and get one zone closer. Do you want to be on your side of the bridge so that way you can still have a little bit of distance between yourself and them, or are you going onto the platform?
So I have to get to the point where I am 1 range away. So
okay, so to do that, you'd have to be on
the platform. Cool. Then yeah, we're going onto the platform.
Alrighty. Thankfully, you don't have to make a test. You would normally have to make a test to avoid breaking a weaker board, but since it has been reinforced by Chanel, you're all good.
All right. Now we shoot.
Now
Well,
that's
a success and a complication.
Alrighty. So, would you like to spend a luck point to re-roll that particular roll?
We have what, 5?
The luck points are
luck
personal.
points. I do have 5 though. Yeah.
Complication, then you can do so.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and re-roll. Everything fucking works. Jesus Christ. Alright, so that's a total of 3 successes.
Excellent. Because the red roaches are a little bit smaller, they actually have a defense of 2. So
Alright.
you hit with 1 extra success, which you can use to either add to the pool, or you can use it to get an extra combat die of damage. And you can use action points to add an extra combat die of damage, 1 per action point, to a max of 3 extra dice.
I'll just take the 1 extra die of damage.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your combat dice, plus 1 because of the extra success, and we'll see what you get.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes, and that's 5 effects, which doesn't do much, I don't think, with my weapon.
Thankfully, radroaches are not super bulky, so just with the 1 shot, you basically fire, and the radroach just basically explodes into a puddle of like that weird, sticky, like radroach guts. Just basically all their limbs fly off in random directions that you hit them so hard they turn into a pile of mush. So that is the 1 dead radroach. There are now 6 remaining.
Alright.
And I believe that it is now Carter's turn.
Yes, indeed. Remind me what rate means.
Rate is fire rate. So you can normally shoot you're spending 1 point of ammunition, but you can spend up to your fire rate as extra ammunition, and the more ammunition you spend, each extra bit of a point of ammunition is an extra damage die.
Oh, okay. I don't need to do that. Yeah, Carter will back up, probably trying to jump on top of a rock or something like that. Put
You
some
can probably
distance
jump onto the median, the concrete median. That would give you a little bit of more distance. They would have to climb up after you to nibble at your ankles.
Yeah, and he's gonna smoke one, just aim down the sight, boom. Not
All right, go ahead
fast
and roll.
drawing, just like calm, collected, boom.
All right, go ahead and make the roll for me. Two critical successes. Ooh.
Jesus.
Alrighty, so you hit and you have 2 extra successes. Would you like to go ahead and use those as extra damage dice? Since the pool is currently at 5, it can only go up to a maximum of 6.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, so that'll be 2 extra damage dice as well as your extra damage die because you have the first rank of Gunslinger, if I believe.
That's correct.
Alrighty.
That was not a correct way to roll.
You rolled a 7.
No. You have to roll 7d6, not just a 7.
There you go.
Yeah, that was the problem.
I think it's dead.
It's very dead.
That's
So
very
2,
dead.
4, 6, 7, 8.
9 because I have Vicious installed on my gun.
Oh god, yeah, that is 9 because you have Vicious.
I really gotta
That
get
one's
my gun.
also just turned into a pile of mush and like a what's left of the carapace with the 1 singular shot from your 10mm pistol. And now it is the time for both the good doctor and Chanel. Chanel,
Mm-hmm.
normally you would have to worry about danger close, given the fact that Carter is in the same sort of zone as the radroaches. But since he hopped up onto the median, he is far enough. He has put enough distance between himself and them to where he doesn't have to worry about getting hit in the blast of your grenades. So if you want to go ahead and use one of your baseball grenades, you can do so without worrying about hurting your friends.
Yeah! No accidental murder this time, suckers.
Only intentional murder.
Only intentional. And I'm gonna take one of my baseball grenades. I probably see Maisie getting into playtime position. I'm gonna turn and be like, no. And
She
then
looks
I'm gonna.
upset.
Worst fetch ever.
You don't want to fetch this baseball, honey. And she's gonna pull the pin and toss.
All right. Please go ahead and give me a roll of perception and explosives. And as a reminder, you can use the action points from the pool to give yourself extra dice if you want to just really make sure that you get them.
Are we cool if I use
Heck, I would spend one.
point?
Yeah, we've got 5 right. I might as well.
Yeah, you can use 1 point to get an extra die. You could use 3 points to get 2 extra dice. Or you could use all 5 to have 3 extra dice to this pool. The maximum number of d20s you can have in any one test is 5.
I think I'm going to spend 3 to get 2.
Okay. So that would be 4d20. Go ahead and roll them. Also, I'm assuming that you're going to move onto the platform, so you're within range to yeet the baseball grenade.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And those are all successes critical.
Okay, so that's 2 criticals, 1 and 2 regular successes. So that's a grand total of 6 successes. Okay. So you have 4 extra successes. Would you like to spend any as extra damage, or would you like to put some into the pool, or how would you like to split that up? Because each additional success gives you an action point, which you can use an action point to get an extra combat die.
And you said that I've got 4 additional successes?
That is correct.
I'll put 2 into the damage and 2 into the combat pool.
All right, so the combat pool for the players is at 2 action points, and you're going to be rolling your damage dice plus 2 extra damage dice.
Which is, if I can have a brief reminder of what that is, because my sheet is not pulling up.
Unfortunate. The combat dice for explosives.
And I believe I have vicious on top of mine.
They are indeed vicious because you have the demolitions expert.
I like to provide the boom boom stick.
That you do, and a baseball grenade's damage is 5. So with 2 extra dice, you'd be rolling 7 combat dice.
Okay, so 76.
Two, 4, 6, 7, 8. That is a grand total of 8 points of damage. Good doctor. You are getting ready to pull out whatever weapon you may think that you need to handle these rad roaches, and you're just like, don't worry, I've got... And then you just see Chanel throwing a baseball grenade. Arcs rolls around closer to the rad roaches, and boom. And now there are not rad roaches, but a number of rad roach corpses.
Oh, fair enough.
Are they even recognizable as rad roach corpses at this point?
There are pieces,
And guts.
and guts, and a couple charred legs. Not much else.
See, I told you I had 5 of them. Now I got 4.
That is indeed how math works. Yes.
But
That makes me the 4th smartest person in town.
you said 5 bullets. Those are not bullets.
Those are my bullets.
No.
Carter, you might be a little bit shaken up because while you weren't hit by that blast, that was still quite close to you.
Yeah, that was very close.
Don't worry, Carter. I got real good aim.
Yeah, I can tell. I still got all my limbs.
Hey, that's a major success on my behalf.
That should be the expected outcome, no?
Yes, or at least that is what one would hope. If it is not hoped, well, then I'd be concerned why our group is trying to kill each other.
And Carter will start heading back to the truck. Listen, the shack up there has got a dead guy, and the rad roaches were eating him. Might be something of value in there. I'll go check it out. But I think that's about it for around here. Looks like he was probably scavenging before they ate him.
You all can take a look around, and you do see that there are still a few cars and trucks it looks like he didn't get to. So if you wanted to scavenge a little bit, you probably could, and probably find at least a little bit here and there.
Scavenging time.
You said there are cars and trucks?
Yes, there are a few cars. There looks to be a cargo. The main ones that you really pay attention to. It looks to be a cargo truck, similar to this one, but well, fully dilapidated to the point of being beyond repair. But there might be something you can get from it. There looks to be a sort of military transport vehicle, and it looks like a sedan that he was working on but didn't get to fully finish.
I can do some searching. I'm not the best at it, but I can try.
I can probably get us into that military vehicle.
If anyone would like to go ahead and do basic scavenging, I would take a roll of perception and survival. If you're going to look around the little shack itself, I will take a roll for that place as well.
I guess Carter's going to head to the shack because he's halfway there already.
Fair enough.
I'm going car park dumpster diving.
Yeah, let's scavenge in this fucker.
One success with the scavengings.
Already? So Carter's got one success at the little shack.
Two successes.
One success.
Legacy, you haven't rolled.
I did it not?
No, that was
slash
me.
roll, not slash R.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
I am not technologically adept, okay?
Okay.
Two successes.
Okay.
There you go.
So, with the combined efforts of the good doctor and Chanel, you managed to find some stuff. Iris, you don't find too much just from the cars themselves, but you do find that the cargo truck is locked.
Oh, well, not for long, it's not.
All right, you go ahead and give me a perception and lockpick test. And if you'd like to go ahead and add the effect of a bobby pin, you can feel free to do so.
What does a bobby pin do?
It reduces the difficulty of a test by 1.
Oh, hell yeah. I have a few of those.
While you're doing that, Carter, you check out the shack real quick. You see that there are basically a whole lot of empty whiskey bottles and open cans of pork and beans. You do find that there is a cupboard that has 2 doses of Radaway and 10 caps worth of just random junk that you could probably put together into like a little parcel and sell all together for just a small little payday. You also find that there was a loose board beneath this individual named Sam, because you see like notes to Sam and Sam's like diary pages, that kind of thing, all screwed around. It seems like this individual was very much living by himself and talking to himself a lot in his own writings. You find a loose board underneath his bed that has 2 bottles of whiskey. It's warm, but it's whiskey, so.
I got 3 successes.
Okay. One last thing that Carter finds is a note in big block letters. Big score, drove me off. Hire Mercs in Bolton.
He's taking that note and just putting it inside his jacket. Collects everything else in a grocery bag, like Red Apple Grocery or something like that.
Yeah, like
just
Super Duper Mart.
Yeah, like he's coming out of a supermarket.
All right. First off, we're going to go ahead with Iris. Easy. Not even a bit of sweat. The bobby pin just slips in and you just turn and it just immediately pops open. That is going to bring the action points for the party up to 5 again. Inside, you see that this was apparently a a truck that was going to a department store because there is just all kinds of junk everywhere. And you find a grand total of 35 units worth of junk.
Jesus.
It's a lot of stuff.
All right.
And the good doctor and our good friend Chanel. You are searching through the various cars, and you find a few things of interest. Searching through one truck, you find road leathers, and you also find a set of like rougher overalls that looks like they belong to an engineer. That looks like they've had a little bit of extra like metal plates put onto them to add a little bit of extra armor. You find a unopened can of dog food. You find a grand total of 13 units of junk just from the various cars and the various trunks that weren't opened yet. You also have a choice. Since you got a grand total of 3 successes between the two of you, you could either find an extra unit of food, 2 extra units of clothing, a beverage, a ranged weapon, a unit of ammo, or a random chem. You can choose 2 things.
I think that a beverage and a chem would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as we're getting mass amounts of pork and beans.
Yeah.
All right. The beverage you find in the same little sedan that had the unopened can of dog food, you find a bottle of water. Unfortunately, this does not look to be purified because it's been out just sitting and has gotten dirty and a little bit irradiated.
Yummy. Radiation, my favorite.
But Chanel, you were looking at a truck. Just looking around for like parts, but it seems like this place is rather rusted out, unfortunately. It looks like it's been basically beaten down by the elements enough to the point where you're not sure you could really get anything of use. But you find something odd. You find a handprint in white chalk against the side of the truck that you actually recognize. This is a sign from one of the tribes that used to come through. This is a sign from the dead horses, showing a little bit of taboo to this place, but also one of the digits is longer than the others and points you to a little hole that had been made in like the whale well. And you find that there's a pack of healing powder inside of it.
Ooh. Hey Doc. This might make some good use for you.
But what did you find?
Drugs. But good drugs. Healing drugs. I should probably, be a bit more specific.
Indeed, that is very helpful. I did find some water here and a can of dog food.
I will take that canned dog food.
Yes, it's highly suggest trying to de-radioactivate it, though. Best as possible.
Sure.
Carter, you come back seeing everyone basically working through what they've scavenged out.
Well, looks like our friend here had some notion of a big score up ahead, and some note about hiring mercenaries from Bolton. Maybe that's the people who downed the vertibird, but it doesn't seem likely. That's a pretty hefty piece of equipment. More likely they drew something's attention by coming out here.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess, anyway.
Oh, also one more thing, Carter. If you wanted, you could have grabbed the double-barrel shotgun from underneath the corpse, but there were no other shells. It looks
Sure,
like
yeah, why not? Trade it. Also, happy birthday, somebody.
Yeah.
I usually prefer cake with my birthdays to shotguns, but it's a worthy prize nonetheless. We can sell it for caps later.
My assumption, yeah. I don't want it, but hey.
We've also got a whole load of shit. Emphasis on the shit. And it's not worth much, unless Chanel, you can do something with it, I'm sure.
Hey, one man's trash is another woman's car part.
Now, Doctor, it is my understanding that on birthdays, those of German persuasion tend to drink beer, but how about bourbon?
Now that, mein guter Mann, is a wonderful idea.
They'll put the bag in the truck. Doesn't seem like he's particularly worried about Chanel running off with a bunch of stuff, since they're all stuck here.
Fair enough. There is still the military transport if everyone would like to go ahead and take a look at that, and there's the sedan.
Yeah, Carter will take a quick look at the sedan just because it's, nobody's looked at it yet.
Okay.
Take a look at a military transport.
And I'll come with for the military transport too then.
And I'll go
Okay.
with the sedan.
Okay, so Dr. Hoffman and Iris, you find the military transport contains the skeletons of several soldiers as you opened up the back, and it looks like they were all basically caught in the blast. Their uniforms are in tatters, but you're able to scavenge enough together that you could get one full set of military fatigues. Nothing much else of use here. All the guns that they had were left out to the elements to the point where they're just rusted to shit and basically unusable, unfortunately. Those of you at the sedan, you can see that there are caps near the trunk of the car, and the trunk itself looks to be opened, but not fully open, just like similar to the door left ajar. And I would like both of you to give me a roll of perception and either explosives or survival.
Hey, yo, that's 2 successes.
That is none. No successes on my end.
Okay, so Chanel, you're like, ooh, caps, and you go down to like grab one, and Carter, you've seen stuff like this in the movies before. People leaving bushwhacking ambushes and bullshit, and you stop Chanel right before she looks like she was about to reach and hit a tripwire.
Don't stick your hand in there. This is a bad situation. Somebody set this up.
Oh. Alright. You saved me from having to patch myself up.
Yeah, a couple caps aren't going to be worth losing your hand over. I'm
No.
going to guess that our scavenger guy saw this, couldn't disarm whatever was in there, decided to leave it well enough alone.
Chanel, if you would like to try to disarm this, you may do so with an agility and explosives test. Or again, if you want to use luck instead of agility, you can spend a luck point.
Okay.
Carter steps over the medium and ducks.
Fair enough.
Ooh, 2 failures.
Would you like to spend luck points to re-roll?
Yes.
All right, you can spend a luck point per die you're trying to re-roll here.
All right, I'm gonna spend 2 to reroll both.
Okay. Pool, so if you wanted to use some of those, you could.
The bot's playing games with me. Now it's taking its sweet time rolling.
Yeah, of course.
Why should anything be easy?
Do we notice that good Mr. Carter has ducked behind median?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What are you doing?
Just, Chanel's doing something that I think might explode.
You're gonna have to be more specific than that. That's about all she does.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about. I am doing just fine.
So, Legacy, it looks like the bot roll. Yeah, the first roll was a 12 and 18, correct from you?
No.
No, that was the perception.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry,
So,
my.
yeah, it looks like the bot is being rude.
The bot
Yeah,
ate your input.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try and force it to roll, Saul?
I can try.
Yeah, because my other option is I was just gonna break out 2d20.
Roll, damn you, roll!
Hey!
Hey, an 8. An 8 passes.
All right. So, you work to go ahead and pull this little tripwire, and you think you've got it to get it out of the way, and then you hear a metallic chink, and you see that you have pulled the tripwire, and you see the pin at the end of it. And then you all hear a kaboom.
Well, shit. Oh,
Chanel, are you wearing any
Oh.
armor?
I am.
Okay, what armor are you wearing? Or how much physical damage resistance do you have?
Let me look. My clothes are reinforced to give me I think it's 3.
Let me go ahead and pull up your sheet to see if I can double check that.
Yeah, I had it somewhere. Like I said, I don't my sheet isn't fully pulling up. Or did I not mark that down? I probably didn't mark it down either.
Huzzah for technical difficulties, folks.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't put it down on my sheet, so I'll be fair. I don't have any, so I think I'm dead.
Well,
I'll
oh
play
dear.
fair.
Utility overalls would be physical resistance 2.
Ballistic weave gives an additional +2.
That, yep. I think I had mentioned paying to put the ballistic
Yes.
weave on my.
Yeah, that'd be 4 then.
Yep, you've definitely mentioned it.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning it, but please mark that down on your sheet, please, for future reference.
I will when my sheet decides to pull.
When it decides to be nice. So, thankfully, your utility jumpsuit reinforced, well reinforced, given the money that you have brought in for Lilybell. They were just like, here, you need this so that way you don't get bushwhacked on the road to New Vegas and Freeside and so on and so forth. This still hurts. This was a point-blank explosion right in your everything. And you take 4 points of damage after the reduction from the armor.
Okay. Son of a bitch!
Scheiße. Doctor runs again.
I'm fine, Doc. I'm fine.
Oh no.
I think you decided to set off the alarm with that bomb, number 1, and 2, you're missing an eyebrow, so I don't think you're quite as fine as you think you are.
It'll grow back hair's hair.
The eyebrow is the least of her worries, given, well, explosions.
Indeed.
Yeah, Iris, do me a favor and keep an eye on the horizon. If there are people out here within earshot, they're going to have heard that.
On it.
Stupid pen, stupid wire.
All right.
Oh, man.
And he's going to go into full-on triage first aid mode.
Alrighty, so are you going to be utilizing a stimpak, or are you going to be utilizing first aid without the stimpak, or are you going to be maybe using that healing powder that you got?
We'll try without the stimpak and healing powder, and if it doesn't seem like it's quite enough to get her back up to snuff, then we'll go into a second round.
The healing powder, that definitely isn't cocaine.
Definitely not cocaine.
You know.
Yeah. Carter's going to give him a hand, because Carter does have medicine.
Do we all have medicine?
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who are doing the test, Dr. Hoffman, I would like a roll of intelligence and medicine. Carter, if you're going to be aiding him, I would like a roll of intelligence and medicine with 1 die to add to his successes with your own skill.
Not added for me, no successes.
2 successes.
Okay.
All I'm saying is this is slight deja vu for Chanel.
Yeah.
I remember
Might be
correctly
slightly-
how we met.
Might be slight deja vu for Legacy as well. So, with
Bullying and I don't like it.
thankfully, the explosion didn't seem to be too much in way of fragmentation. It seemed to just be more concussive, like a lot more of the actual force of the explosion, rather than any sort of shrapnel that would go out to like embed itself into Chanel. So it seems like it's mostly just bruised her really badly, and with just a little bit of bandaging and taking care of what bruises she has, and you were able to help her recover 2 of her hit points back. So she's just 2 hit points down.
Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome. It's not the first time. I doubt it will be the last.
With me, I did say I am the 4th most smart. I'm the 4th smartest person in the Mojave, and that ain't saying much, Doc. That ain't saying much at all.
No, it is not.
Carter just takes his pinpoint. No, she ain't maybe 4th smartest the person in the Mojave.
I
End quote.
heard that.
Alrighty then.
Just gonna have Macy just come to. Macy's just gonna make her way to my side and just kind of like plop her head I assume that I'm like kind of sitting on the ground as Doc is healing me. She's just gonna come and plop her head on my lap and give me the judging eyes.
Yep, because she had been back with Carter, just sort of like hanging at the median, just making sure that you didn't blow yourself up. And then when you did blow yourself up, she came over to just look at you, just like, I knew you were gonna blow yourself up, Mom.
You little shit.
I also just read over the book again on healing. I believe it's they heal up to my rank in medicine, which would be 4.
That is correct, actually. I apologize. So Chanel's back up to full.
Yeah.
The only thing that's bruised is my ego.
Well,
Thankfully, we have whiskey, which should provide armor for that.
yes, indeed.
Well,
It had to have drank it before blowing herself up.
yeah, see, it only provides me a resistance to damaged ego if I'm already drunk going into the explosives, because then I can blame it on the drinking.
On the
Not
plus
that
side,
you-
it'll help you forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Sure, let me drink a bunch of whiskey and booze before we go and hop in my truck again. That is just good news the entire time.
9. Das ist verboten. Doctor's orders.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
This has been an HHS message. Don't drink and drive, or
This
you'll
has
end up
been a
like
PSA.
Chanel.
The more you know.
Anyway, let's get back on the road. Find somewhere where Chanel can drown her sorrows and
Yeah, we gotta get
hopefully
out.
forget about
Get
blowing
out of this
herself
kill
up.
box here.
I take the bottle caps now that the car has exploded.
Now that the car's exploded, you take the 10 bottle caps that were scattered around to entice people to come over.
Yep, and then I spit in the car.
You spent almost left of the car.
Yeah, there's not much.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, I would like another roll of perception and pilot from Chanel, please.
Two successes.
All right. Despite the fact that your wounds are tended to, you're still a little bit just sort of shaky and your ears are ringing a little bit because that was an explosion right at you. But you're able to power through it, and as you drive, the ringing goes away. Thankfully, it seems like you've got a good bit of stuff, even despite the explosion, from all the scavenging you did, all the work that you all found stuff in the shack and around it, that even if you don't get paid super well from the scribe or whatever you might find at the Vertibird, you still got a decent bit of stuff that you could make selling money or taking back as parts for Lilybell.
Okay. Turn on the radio in the car. To the sweet tunes of whatever it is that is regulated by Mr. House himself.
You've got two options. You can either listen to New Vegas radio or you could just listen to the Mojave Music Radio.
Let's throw on the sweet tunes of the Mojave radio.
And as you turn it on, it is beginning Peggy Lee's rendition of Johnny Guitar.
This one's my favorite.
And that's legally as much as we're allowed to say.
It is
Yeah.
indeed. So, you are driving along and you see a makeshift sign saying dry gulch within 5 miles. And which is very easy for you to get to, very quick to get to, given the fact that you're in a truck. Something not many people in the Mojave are able to say that they have access to easily enough. And as you get there, you are getting closer and you're hearing sounds of fighting. Not gunfire, but you hear the occasional sound of an explosion and you also hear the retort of laser weaponry. Dr. Hoffman, you're definitely picking out the sound of laser weaponry, especially laser rifles going off.
All right, that would be the Brotherhood. This will be interesting, I'm sure. I would suggest, if you are amicable to it, that we approach with some stealth. Going in guns blazing might not be the best into an active war zone.
Can do, Doc. Can do.
So, Chanel, are you wanting to drive fully into the active war zone, or are you wanting to stop a little bit outside of it and everyone pile out and go on foot so that way the truck doesn't get shot up?
Unless my truck has reinforced armor, which I highly doubt it does, I think it's the logical thing to park a little bit a ways away.
Yeah, as it is more of a merchant transport than meant for anything else, especially given the fact that most of your trips are shorter and just between like the 188 and back to Lilybell, or from Lilybell at furthest up to Novak. Yeah, you're not exactly very well armored. So you go ahead and park, and everyone piles out, and everyone who wants to go ahead and head closer, give me a roll of agility and sneak. And it is getting dark, not dark enough that you're going to have trouble seeing, but dark enough that if anyone had, say, the ghost perk, it would come into play.
Oh, jeez.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
None.
I'm gonna spend 2 luck points to reroll 2 of those.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 2.
Okay.
You know, I don't think I'm the type that should be going and trying to sneak around and everything. I got the truck for a reason. Y'all have fun.
A success.
All right. So a success from Iris, 2 successes from Carter, the Doctor, and Chanel. Bupkiss.
Chanel is not sneaking.
Yep, hence Bupkiss.
Mm-hmm.
You are getting a good bit closer, and you can see the vertibird, or rather, the complete mangled wreck of the vertibird. You see that basically the only thing that is working still is like a floodlight that is being used to sort of point out where the threats are. And you see that there are currently 2 individuals. They look to be wearing the fatigues of Brotherhood of Steel Knights. They don't have power armor, but they are wearing the slightly armored like Brotherhood fatigues. And they are fighting, it looks to be robots. You see what look to be a grand total of 4 Protectrons and 2 iBots. There were also, it looks like, full-on sentry bots, but it looks like they got knocked out by heavy sustained fire upon them. There also looks like there are the bodies of a few knights that look like they didn't quite make it. But you can hear, even across Carter's Pip-Boy, you hear, "Come on, you scrap heaps! Yeah, you want to take me down? You gotta fucking work for it." And you just see a grenade go up and explode into what looks to be a sort of like staticky field, and you see an eyebot drop as it got hit by the pulse grenade. So it looks like there are 4 Protectrons and 1 eyebot currently. I will let our 2 stealthy individuals go ahead and take their turns first as they are working to stealth upwards. You all are a grand total of 3 zones away from the vertebrate crash. The 2 of the protectrons are about 2 zones away from you. 2 of the protectrons are 1 zone away from you. They are working to slowly make their way forward as Robco did not seem to make protectrons with the sense of speed in mind, but they are advancing towards the wreckage and blasting with their handheld laser weapons. And the iBot is also blasting as well. The iBot is 2 zones away from the lot of you.
Carter's going to head towards the ones that are further away rather than closer.
Okay,
like the ones that are 2 zones rather than 1 zone from us.
Okay, so you're able to move 1 zone for free. And if you want to use your major action to move another zone, you're able to get into position. That would not leave you an action to attack unless you spent 2 action points to get an extra major action.
That's fine, but I'm stealthed, so...
Spend 1 action point to take an extra minor action.
Yeah, you could also spend 1 action point to take another minor action.
All right.
So if you wanted to say, like, aim at another one of them...
Yeah. I'll spend an action point to start aiming at one of the protectrons.
Okay, and that would make it so that when you do actually attack that protectron, you will get a free reroll of 1 die. Iris.
Gonna go after one of the ones that's 1 range band away.
Okay, are you going to go ahead and attack it, or would you like to go ahead and aim and then attack?
Gonna aim then attack.
Okay, or would you like to spend any of the action points from the pool?
How many are we at?
I believe we're currently at 5 because people were banking, earning them a lot and then banking them as opposed to utilizing them.
Y'all mind if I spend 1?
Go for it.
Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and just,
use the free reroll from aiming for that complication.
Okay, so that's, 4 successes total.
Okay. Protectrons, not hard to hit. Not quite as small as red roaches or dodgy at all. You're able to ping it very easily with 2 extra successes. Would you like to put those into the pool to bring yourself up to the maximum for the action point pool, or would you like to go ahead and use those for extra dice for damage?
So I would like to take him as extra damage dice, and then would y'all mind if I spend another one for another extra damage die?
Oh, actually, I apologize. I just looked at the sneak attack rules. They're at defense 0 for the sneak attack.
Oh,
and and all damage that you deal is considered vicious. So 5s and 6s will deal 2 extra damage.
I was aware of that. All right. Well, in that case, 4 extra damage dice. And would y'all mind if I took 1 for another one? Because I've got accurate.
They're there to be spent. Knock yourself out.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, effects trigger all effects?
Yes. So, like, if you had a vicious and armor piercing, each effect would deal an extra point of damage and pierce through a point of armor.
All right, cool. So it just so happens that I do have both piercing and vicious because it's a sneak attack. So that's 1, 2, 3.
Looks to be 11 points of damage, piercing for 3 points of armor.
Piercing 3. Yeah.
Oh dear God! Please roll 1d20 for me to see where you hit it on the robot.
All right. Three.
A 3 hits it, and it's in the main torso-ish area of the robot. Okay. And so you shoot this robot, and you see that it generally has very thick armor, but you hit it just at the right spot to hit like where the actuators are in it, and it just like and just falls over like someone tipped over a refrigerator. And then the robots all stop firing for a second. It's like, new threats detected. And I would like everyone to remind me what the initiative is. I know Iris is going first.
I'm on 15, but I'm just taking aim.
Of course.
And then the Doc and I are both at 12.
Yep.
Excellent. If you can believe it, the initiative for the robots, not fantastic.
Not great.
Not
What?
great.
Imagine that.
So, Iris, it's your turn again, because you're first up in the initiative order. So now there are a grand total of 3 Protectrons and an iBot.
We'll take aim at the other Protectron that was 1 range band away.
Okie dokie.
I'm gonna re-roll that 16. All right, that's 2 successes, which I believe is enough to hit.
2 successes is indeed enough to hit. It only has a defense of 1, so you get an extra success as well,
All right.
which you can use for extra damage or to put it into the pool.
Yeah, we're taking damage. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's another 11. Piercing 3 again.
Well, does it count?
Oh, wait.
as...
No, I'm sorry. You don't have the vicious.
Yeah, so it's only 8 piercing 3.
8 piercing 3. Roll 1d20 to tell me where you hit it again. A 9 will hit it, I believe, in the torso. The 9 hits it in the arm, and you see that arm just fully fly off in a gout of sparks and electricity, just like error, 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 error. And it now does not have one of its arms, so it loses one of its laser weapons. It's still up, but you can tell that it is very much malfunctioning and having troubles with how much damage you've dealt to it so quickly.
All right, that's my turn.
Alrighty, Carter, you have taken aim, and you are looking at a Protectron that is slowly spinning back around, and it's like, new threats detect, and it stops and is looking at you, but you're able to squeeze off a shot right at it if you'd be so inclined.
Double tap to the head.
Alrighty, are you utilizing more ammunition to deal extra damage to this?
I certainly am.
And are you utilizing any of the action points to get extra dice?
I don't think so.
Okay, dokie. Alright, that looks like
I will re-roll the second roll with my aim, so I get 2 successes, one of which is critical.
okay, so that's 3 successes total. That gives you 2 action points to utilize if you want to put them into the pool or deal extra damage.
Oh, we're dealing damage.
Okay, so how much ammunition are you how much of your fire rate are you going for?
I'm going for 2 bullets, so
Alright, so that'd be an extra point of damage as well from that. So go ahead and roll all that beautiful damage.
alright. I think that's 8.
I believe so, yes. 8.
You rolled an 8.
I certainly did. Okay, so that's hold on.
Looks like 11 to me.
Look 11.
Yeah, that's 11.
Would you please roll me 1d20 to tell me to see where we hit the robot?
Oh no, I hit him in the head.
Oh, you already did, yeah, because you got the VATS. Beautiful thing, VATS. You hit it in the head, and you see the entire top armored casing that protects the central processing unit just completely fly off. The armor is completely and utterly gone, and it looks like the bullet tore through some really important parts in the central processing unit, and it looks like it is going completely and utterly ballistic. It doesn't look like its targeting sensors are working anymore, and it looks, and you've seen this happen in another one of the more like Attack of the Robots towards the people sort of type flicks, and it looks like this is going berserk and may attack its allies.
Good for it.
It's still up, but yeah, it looks like it's gonna be having a rough time.
It just sort of like sights down, swell.
Yeah. And now it is on to Chanel and the good doctor.
At this point, the doctor's going for a full sprint. You said the Vertibird and the two Brotherhood of Steel Knights are 3 spaces away?
They are 3 zones away, yes.
Sprinting to 1 zone away and then doing the minor action to move. Drawing a hem and then being ready to deliver first aid to whoever's the most injured.
Okay, so you doing all of that will take up your entire minor action and major action, unless you spend a point. Spend 2 action points to give yourself a major action to actually go ahead and do the medicine now.
The sprint is a major, the move is a minor, the drawing a chem is a minor, and then delivering first aid is a major.
Yeah, so that would be a grand total of 3 action points you'd spend to do all of that.
Okay, I thought we had 2 per fight.
It's only 1 per round.
I see. You can't take more than 1 movement action per turn. Okay, never mind.
Yep. But you can get there. I'll let you go ahead and I'll give it to you that you can go ahead and get there. You just can't do the medicine yet.
Yeah, well, he'll get there and hunker down and ask, all right, which one of you's my hut?
And they just point at each other because they you can see that this is very much the ego of not wanting to say that they're wounded. Despite the fact they're both looking quite beat up and laser burned.
All right, I'll worry about that next time then.
Yep. Chanel.
All right, let's go. Just at proximity speaking, let's say I were to throw a bomb.
Okay, so you can throw a grenade that would hit the one. There is one Protectron that is 1 unit away. That's in perfect zone for you to go ahead and throw a bomb to take it out. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
There is 2 Protectrons and an iBot 2 zones away if you wanted to move 1 unit closer, but you'd also hit Carter.
Gosh darn it. All right, fine. I'll go for the 1. I guess I'll keep my ally safe this time. You only get 1 a season.
You only get the 1.
Is that 1 for the group or 1 for each person?
Yes.
Those were mutually exclusive.
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
How much we rub her back then?
No, I'm gonna baseball grenade the one that's closest to me.
Okay, go ahead and roll me your perception and explosives, please.
Okay. One of those is a success. I would like to burn a luck point to reroll the other one.
Okay, go ahead.
Two successes.
Alrighty. Is that within underneath your tag skill, or is that a?
Explosives is not a tag skill.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, that is 2 successes. That hits, giving you 1 extra action point that you can add to the damage of this explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll that beautiful kaboom damage.
All right. I believe that for me is... Yep, that is 5d6.
6 with the extra 1 for your
66,
action point.
right. 66.
Yep. Oh my god.
And they're vicious.
And it's vicious, so each one of those deals 2 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 12 damage. There was a robot, and now there's slag. There's just scrap everywhere as a baseball grenade rolls to be like right at the robot's feet, and then you can see it just like bend its torso down, and you just hear, uh-oh. Boom. And now there's no longer a robot within range there anymore.
There was a robot within range.
You can use your minor action to aim if you wanted to throw a grenade further along, or you could go ahead and move on up and maybe duck behind a little bit of, maybe like even go prone behind the scrap of that robot to give yourself a little bit of cover from any retaliatory lasers.
Yeah, I'm gonna duck and cover.
Okie dokie, so you just run forward and just full on, like, baseball slide your way to be behind a scrapped robot.
Mm-hmm.
Carter.
How many are left?
There are 2 Protectrons, one of which is going fully berserk, and an Eyebot. The one that is going berserk, I'm going to roll to see if it hits it, if it aims at you, or if it aims at its friends.
I also note that Iris goes first.
Oh,
I know this is their turn, and they're retaliating to you because you're in range.
Yeah, that's fair. I had it coming.
With 2 complications, it's going after its buddy.
Hey, yo.
That hits. It deals that much damage. So you see it just turn and just completely light up its buddy. Like it just pours everything into it, and you can see that it is just melting the armor with how much laser is going at this other robot's torso. And it looks like it's taking a lot of damage, but it's still up at the moment. The other robot is going to fire back because it now has lost the friendly tag for it, so now they're just basically fighting each other, going full robot wars here. And also deal a decent bit of damage to it. The Eyebot, however, since it is not being fired at, is going to turn and fire at you, my friend.
So be it.
Got some battle bots going on over here.
Yep.
We have invented Rock'em Sock'em robots.
With lasers.
Could you please remind me what your defense is? Is it 1 or 2?
My defense is... Let me open my sheet. My defense is 1.
Okay.
Because I think it's only 2 if you have agility 9 or higher.
That is correct.
Yeah, it's only 1.
All right. It does, in fact, hit you, and is going to deal a little bit of energy damage to you. I believe your suit is ballistic weave to have extra armor for both physical and energy damage.
That's correct.
Okie dokie.
And note, that includes my hat.
It does, in fact, include your hat. And let's see where it hits you. Does it hit you in the hat? It does not. It hits you like square in the tie, and even your tie is thankfully synthetic weaved to the point where it is armored, and the blast is like you mostly feel the concussive blast. And you feel a little bit of the heat, but thankfully your suit is armored enough that it takes the brunt of it. But you still feel like a little bit of that intense hit. It's like getting shot while you having body armor on you. It doesn't hit you, but it still hurts. So you take 1 point of damage.
Anime style steam rising.
Yeah, you take 1 point of damage, and that's about it.
Good tailoring.
Yep. Iris, but you can see that now there are 2 robots that are fighting each other and 1 Eyebot who just shot Carter, but Carter is fine despite just being in a suit. And it is your go because the Brotherhood Knights are a bit busy being confused as to the doctor having just shown up. It's like, who needs medical attention? And they just were busy pointing at each other.
Alright, I'm gonna move up and I'm gonna shoot at the Eyebot.
Alrighty. So you moved up, so you are 1 zone away. It is within range. It is smaller, so its defense is 2.
Ooh, that's rough.
So
Never mind, it doesn't matter. I hit. Because that's 2 successes, because it's tag skill.
It sure is. Would you like to use any action points from the pool to go ahead and deal some extra damage?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Two, 3, 4 piercing 1.
All right. 4 damage, piercing 1. You hit it pretty well. Let's see. Another thing I would like to remind people is if they see their damage dice and they don't like how they rolled up, they can spend a luck point to roll up to re-roll up to 3 of the damage dice to see if they can get better results from them. So like those 2 3s and the 4 that Iris rolled, if you wanted to spend a luck point, you could re-roll them to try to get some extra damage.
I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, you can only spend action points on melee or thrown attacks.
Do what?
For damage.
I'd like to think that action points would go for guns as well, so we're just gonna politely ignore that for a little.
That is your prerogative, certainly.
Yeah. Alrighty, so you did hit the Eyebot, and it does look like it is like trying to basically stay in the air, but it's having trouble, and it looks like it can't even barely aim anymore. Carter, you've got BattleBots going on, but you also see the Eyebot that had the audacity to shoot you.
Oh, Eyebot, you're catching some.
Roll it.
He will aim first.
Fair enough.
I will re-roll that 19.
Fair enough.
Well, 1 success.
Unfortunately, the Eyebot required a grand total of 2 successes to hit.
That is the way it goes sometimes.
Indeed. Next up is the Good Doctor and Chanel. Carter, would you like to go ahead and spend a action point to move out of the way so that way Chanel doesn't blow you up?
Yes, because I already had my once.
That's true. You look and you see Chanel priming another grade. You're like, oh no, and you just book it.
Yep, behind a rock.
Yep. Chanel, you're now in a target-rich environment without risk of hurting your friends.
Oh,
and Maisie's very excited.
Maisie, calm down, girl. Calm down. It's okay. All right. I'm gonna light up. I'm gonna light up another one of these baseball bad boys and toss it over in hopes that I can hit a couple more targets.
Go ahead and roll it, and if you'd like, spend some action points to get some extra dice if you want.
an extra an point. That'll come out eventually, and get 1 extra die.
Okie dokie.
Ooh. Luck points I have left.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'd rather not die today via my own stupidity. I'm gonna spend 2 luck points to reroll that 17.
Okie dokie.
Okay. That is 1 1 success.
Okay, so this will hit the Protectrons.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the Eyebot is so small that it is able to basically just float up away from the blast.
That's fine. If I can get 2, then that's good enough for me.
Okie dokie, go ahead and roll the damage of your explosives.
Yep. I believe that's 3? No, I don't know.
So 5s and 6s are 1 plus they trigger an effect, which in this case is vicious. So they're each 2.
Yep.
8.
8 successes.
Yep. So those Protectrons that were fighting each other and gotten to the point where they were getting close enough to each other that they were basically full-on rock'em sock'em roboting at each other, just boom, 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 are now they're scrapped. And
This time I'm gonna jump up and try to catch the little one's attention.
all right, give me a quick roll of charisma and speech. Just be like, hey.
Hey, I'm right over here, and I'm vulnerable to your attack.
And give yourself an extra die because Maisie is going to be parking along with you.
Yes, my little companion, my little asshole. You know, she was practicing just a couple seconds ago. You see, she's a little loud.
That's correct.
That is a critical success because speech is a tagged skill for me.
There you go. So 2 successes. The Eyebot is definitely focusing on you now. Good doctor, what you doing?
What are your names, knights?
One moment as I pull back up the names I had for them. Knight Hell, the one that looks a little bit more senior says, Knight Helen Layton. This is Knight Arthur, and he's like, sup, ow, God, and he looks like he's got a laser burn like right in the chest area.
Sabbatical, and turns and instantly goes to jab Arthur with the stim pack for first aid.
Alrighty, go ahead and make that beautiful medicine roll for me, please.
One success.
Okay, 1 success is enough that you will, I believe the Stimpak's healing is added to your healing.
I believe so as well.
So that'll heal a lot because Stimpaks already heal a decent chunk.
4. And then Stimpak's part of the action, they restore that. Does that tell me enough? Give me the page number, damn it.
170. First impact, anyway.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
Looks like it can instantly heal 4 hit points, or can be added to your medicine roll, healing an additional 4 hit points.
So it does a total of 8 healing then.
So that knight looks just he's like, ow! Whew, damn, that always hits good. Thanks, Doc.
Alright. You're next. As he turns to Helen, but does not continue the action just yet, as he needs to draw another stim pack.
Fair enough. As you're doing that, Knight Arthur turns and will fire at the iBot and hit. And because the iBot is already so damaged enough, he is able to bring it down in a sputter of sparks. And what was a loud and very intense battlefield soon goes completely and utterly quiet. Aside from off in the distance, the radio is still playing the final last thrums of Johnny Guitar. And that is where we are going to end it for the evening, picking up next time with the aftermath of the fight at Dry Gulch.